right to bed and got 8 hours sleep and then woke up and went to my first Formula One race, which I have to tell you, lived up to the hype. I don't even know where to begin as far as like going out to just seeing this event that I don't even know what, like a year and a half ago, I sort of knew the sport existed. I mean, I knew about it, but I wasn't, doing all this shit, watching every single race. So now to finally show up, with that going on was like, I don't know how to explain it. Like the cars, just seeing the cars alone was like seeing a celebrity to me. Like, oh, that's a Ferrari. That's the Mercedes team. Oh, there's the Fuchsia, the Force India team. It was It was just an incredible experience. We get there, we park, then you take a little boat over, and I don't know. It was crazy. The guy who does all the wrap-up shit, the interviews and everything before and after, Will Buxton, he came out to the show. He was telling us you got to come down to the pit area, whatever the fuck they call it. I forget what the fuck they call it, but we had these sick-ass passes, and we had just under Illuminati-level seats, Every time you think you're in the best place you could watch it, you find out there's another more air-conditioned area with even older, manicured-looking dudes with younger, hotter-looking chicks. Every time you think you're at the final level of Dante's Inferno, there's another fucking level. It's incredible. There was one other level above where the hell we were at, and that's where the guys look like, what Celine Dion's husband used to look like. That guy. I mean, he was a bald dude. He basically looked like Rob Reiner, but he was the fucking shapeshifter, like lizard level, one of those guys that always dresses all in white. Like, he's a bald dude, but you even like just the shit he had left on the side, you're like, that's like a fucking $1,000 haircut. His beard was like perfectly manicured. You know what I mean? Those guys who's like their whole wardrobe is like linen. And they walk around like in Christ clothes. They're always on the French Riviera. They're always in a fucking yacht. They got private jets. And then there's always some meerkat-looking chick sitting next to them that's like fucking like, 21, 22. And you're like, oh my God. Did you pull up in your fucking World Cup sailboat, go into a town and just walk up to these broke people who just, genetic, they hit the lottery, genetics, and had this beautiful girl and you just took her away, the open-toed fucking sandals. I remember that guy, Celine Dion's husband. I just remember he not only was he bald, but his head was perfectly tan, so it didn't even look bad. And then he just had this angelic white hair on the side. Same thing with like his beard. It was a different kind of white. Like those fancy fucking paints you can get where there's just a hint of another color in there. I don't know what was in there, but you can see why Celine was just so in love that she was punching herself in the fucking chest every night. Couldn't wait to get back. I mean, if that's what his fucking hair and then side of his head and his beard look like, can you imagine this guy's pubes? He had like a perfectly tan junk, with his fucking angelic winged pubes. I can't even imagine it. We didn't get to that level. We got to the level where it was a bunch of people, like, just fucking real race fans. We got to the level where we had a canopy, and I still got a fucking sunburn. That's how white I am. Because the sun wasn't on my head, but it hit my fucking chest, so it got all fucking red. And, but I want to thank everybody at the F1 race. Everyone was so fucking cool. So, long story short, I got to make it funny, man. I had such a good time. So, we're sitting... Like, if you watch a replay of the race, when they come out of the pit, to rejoin the race, right where they hit the acceleration. They got to drive like fucking 2.5 miles an hour, and then they get to this point where they can fucking take off, right? Right where they take off was where we were sitting. And we could see turn 1 and then turn 2. And it's a whole other game trying to watch the race when you're there. If you don't have I wish I brought like a radio so I could have figured out what the fuck was going on, because I didn't know what happened to Vettel. I didn't know that the Red Bull guy, who was it? Maximilian there? Max Verstappen, right? He clipped the front of his car. I had no idea what was going on. All I know is he pitted really early, and I was like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden he went from second place to like 15th or last in the race. So I kind of knew, but I had no idea what happened. I didn't know that fucking, what's his face there? Kimi Räikkönen. I didn't know that he had problems with his brakes. We had no fucking idea. No idea. And it was so fucking loud. You had earplugs in, and the guy's talking over it, but it's just so goddamn loud. I'm jumping all over the story here. Dude, we took a little boat over. We parked in a garage, and then you get in this little boat, takes you over there. And then Will hooked us up down in the whole fucking, whatever the fuck they call it, because of the P. And we got to look at the garages and all that shit. And we went into the Red Bull one. And me, Verzi, and Themelis got to meet Daniel Ricciardo, who I famously called Ricky Räikkönen or some shit. Daniel Ricciardo, nicest fucking guy ever. And by the way, I want to be in the shape of an F1 driver. This guy's a fucking ridiculous. This guy was like, I don't know, he's like 5'11", so he's got me by an inch or so. He was probably 30 pounds lighter than me. Fucking amazing. And he goes, yeah, we get weighed twice a day right before during the race week or whatever. And was joking about some fucking broccoli thing, that drink he just drank, and how much weight they lose when they're in the car and all that type of stuff. I really want to thank Red Bull Racing for how cool and nice they were and everything. They were kind of the exact opposite of this fucking cunt we met from the Ferrari team. Granted, it was after the race, and I thought one of the guys was cool. He was really, really nice. But the first guy we met was a cunt. But I think he thought we were being cunts because I didn't understand. I knew that Ferrari was having a nightmare of a day, but I didn't realize the level. I mean, I thought it was still cool that, Vettel was able to work his way back up to the field. I was kind of paying attention to him. I wasn't paying attention to Kimi. So when I went down there, I didn't know what to say. The guy was like, after the race, all those Ferrari guys are like smoking cigarettes too. It's fucking hilarious. All tanned up, fucking smoking cigarettes. And I just walked up and I was just like, hey man, is it okay if Verzi gets a picture with you? Because he wanted a picture with somebody from Ferrari. He's half Sicilian, So the guy's he's like, yeah. And I said, hey, good race today. You guys, at least you got by the Forced India guys. And his face just dropped. And I swear to God, in his face, I understood the entire history and the pressure of working on Ferrari. Like, he just looked at us. He didn't say anything. And then he just went, and I said, and I was trying to make it nice again. I told him they had a good race when they had a horrific race. He probably thought he didn't know this was my first event, so he probably thought I was fucking with him. So he's probably not a cunt. But if you could have seen this guy's face fucking drop, I tell you, if an actor ever did what this guy's face did in a movie, you'd win an Oscar. And now Verzi's got to stand next to him, and Verzi can read people better than me. He's half Sicilian, half Greek. It's fucking over, right? So he feels uncomfortable. So I'm trying to make it nice, going like, all right, this is going to be a legendary picture, whatever. And then he goes, no. And he takes the picture, and then the guy who I thought it was a cunt, but probably thought we were a cunt, he goes, no, you just missed the legend go by. I'm like, oh, he goes, Vettel. Vettel just walked by. We're like, really? Where'd he go? He goes, he went right in there. And we believed him. And then Andrew figured out later that he was just fucking with us. And then we met somebody else in the Ferrari team, who was really nice. But anyways, it was just an amazing fucking time. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know how to do it justice. It was too much to try to put all into one. I guess I started at the fucking middle and then went back to the beginning and then I went to the end of the fucking race. Just know in the end, we were sitting outside of Lewis Hamilton's garage, after everybody left, and there was all these fans there. And they introduced the whole team. The crowd goes crazy. Like, racing's really big with the fans. Like, they do all this extra stuff. They're great. So then they would chant Lewis's name, and Lewis comes out again with another bottle of champagne. He sprays it on his team and then sort of whipped around in our direction, and we actually got hit with the champagne from Lewis Hamilton. That's how fucking close we were. So I don't know how to ever top that experience, but I'd like to say again, thank you to everybody who, Bruce Hills and all those guys from Just for Laughs for hooking us up. We had a great time, and I don't know what to tell you, but I kind of realized just going through talking to everybody in like the garages and shit, just how it's like Mercedes won't give Red Bull. They try to buy an engine, I guess, from Mercedes, and they're like, yeah, no, we're not giving you that. Basically because Daniel Ricciardo's too good of a fucking driver. We don't need that competition. However, they will sell it to other fucking teams. Like I think Force India, they gave them, but it's not the same Mercedes engine that they have. It's really fucking weird. Like, it's like, all right, we'll sell an engine to a team that we know we can beat so we can make the money and help pay for the fucking team. But we're not going to give it to a good team. But I don't get how, like, Red Bull, when what's his face, Vettel was driving for it, won like fucking 3 in a row, 4 in a row, and nobody could catch him. It's like, what the fuck happened to Red Bull's engine over the last 4 years? I don't know. I got my fucking program here. And I hope I'm not boring you guys to shit. I'm going to get off this quickly because I know that for me to start talking about driving for fucking 20 goddamn. Well, that taxi was a nice mainstream story, wasn't it? Doesn't that count for anything, you fucking assholes? No, if I look up the Mercedes team, they've only been around since 2010. Now, I know Mercedes has been racing cars since the 1950s. Like, I don't get how the Ferrari team's been around since 1950. Is this like some AMG shit? I'm going to have to look up the history of these teams because I found it fascinating. Because after a while, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to root for Mercedes and I'm not going to join this sport and then root for the fucking Yankees or Red Sox. I mean, that's too easy, right? So I kind of like, I like Red Bull and I like fucking Force India. Just because I had a great time when I did that gig in Mumbai, and the comedians over there were fucking hilarious, breaking balls and stuff. But then I saw the owner of the team, or whatever the director is, it's just some fucking white dude. Force India, is there like a fucking Aziz-looking dude anywhere in there that's fucking, you figure with a name like that, there's got to be an Indian dude. I don't fucking know. Anyways, what am I talking about here? So I had a great fucking time. How about that? I'll leave it at that. And what's his face? Lewis Hamilton got 25 fucking points. And now he's only, 12 behind? He was 25 behind. That was the one exciting thing, was watching Vettel work his way through the field. Oh, and I forgot to say how the Force India guys, even if you're not into this sport, they were going back and forth with one another. Right? The young kid was trying to get through, and the Perez guy wouldn't let him through. Would not let him through, right? What's the other guy's name? Oh, Khan wanted to get through, and he wouldn't get him through. So while they were fighting with each other, right, in 4th and 5th place, Vettel, divide and conquer, went by both of them in the last couple of fucking laps and ended up getting into 4th place, which was fucking huge, and in a way fucked over the Mercedes team. And I bet they called him up and say, hey, next time you fucking fuchsia cunts want one of our fucking engines, all right? We give you one of our goddamn engines, and this is how you treat us? You block the goddamn Ferraris. Or get your faster car out front. The fuck are we doing here? I'll give you a fucking Volkswagen engine. You do that shit to me again, right? That must have happened. Somewhere along the line, that had to have happened. So, is the Haas team the American team? It's so fucking confusing. I'm sitting here looking at McLaren, Honda. McLaren to me fucking worked on Mercedes. And Honda used to dominate the sport. Now this poor bastard, every time he goes around the fucking lap, dude, it's like he's driving a hoopty. The thing just shits the fucking bed every time. He took a fucking race off. One of those guys. Fernando Alonso. I think he said, fuck this. I'm going to take a race off. That's how bad your engines are. And I'm going to go drive the Indy 500. And I believe when he went there, his engine quit too. I'm not sure. I've been flying all over the hell. All over the hell, all over hell. So we went to the race. I got sunburned. We saw all of this stuff. Dude, when we were sitting, we literally saw them pull their cars in the end, where it was both Mercedes, Hamilton and Bottas, and then Daniel Ricciardo. We saw them all shake hands. They walked up the stairs, and then we saw them, on the podium. We were like to the side, By the way, that fucking trophy that you get for winning that race, Jesus Christ. And that's one of the worst fucking trophies I've ever seen in my life. I think it's just the Canadian maple leaf. They just sort of have it elevated with all this stuff, but it's just such a bland. They should make it like gold or something with the red outline of Canada. You know what I mean? Red and white for Canada, and then you put a bunch of gold in there. You shine it up a little bit. Jesus Christ, Canada, did all your imagination go into the Stanley Cup? I don't know. I was really disappointed with it. You know what's funny? Was the one that Lewis Hamilton got was bad enough. The one that Daniel Ricciardo got, I swear to God, he's probably using to prop open some door in his house. That's how bad. I got to look this thing up. I really have to. I got to trash this fucking thing. The fuck is it? Come on, Bill. All right. Montreal, Canada, Canada Grand Prix. You know who's enjoying me talking about this right now is Nashville Predator fans. Because the last thing, maybe it looks a little bit better. It's got a little gold in there. Yeah, it's just sitting on like rebar. It's just no imagination. I mean, could you at least put like a red outline around the gold? Could you do something to fucking dress this up? I swear to God, if there's some fucked up reason I ever won that race, I don't know. I got so into this game, this fucking sport, and I somehow lost 90 pounds so I could actually not be causing the car to lose. And I somehow beat Lewis Hamilton and Vettel in a non-Mercedes, non-Ferrari engine car. If they brought that trophy out to me, and I just lost fucking 5 pounds, pissing myself as I'm driving around the goddamn track, I just would be like, yeah, you keep that thing. You keep it. Why don't you go back and finish making that trophy, and then I'll accept it. I'm sure that wouldn't cause any international incident. Thank you to everybody at the Formula One race, and I can't wait to watch the next race. I don't even know where the hell it's at. But I will be watching. And I actually finally watched the Italian Grand MotoGP. By the way, trying to tape those fucking races is so difficult. Every time I go to click, it's the fucking Moto 3, Moto 2. It's the fucking time trial. I always got to click every single fucking one of them before I finally get to the race. I got to see the Italian one. These motherfuckers were going like 220 miles an hour on motorcycles. And I finally figured out the kilometer thing. Every 50 miles an hour is 80 kilometers. So you just keep adding 80 every 50. So 50, 100 miles an hour, 150, 200 miles an hour is 80, 160, 240. What the fuck would that be? 320, roughly. All right, there you go. There's a little metric system for you. Go fuck yourselves. I'll see you on Thursday.